Welcome to the Fit 15 podcast show, where you'll find health and fitness inspiration, motivation, and information shared in 15-minute episodes. Tune in while getting a move on to make leading and enjoying the benefits of a healthy lifestyle almost too easy. It's the Fit 15. And now your host, Catherine Basu.
Welcome to the Fit 15 podcast show. I am your host, Catherine Basu. So excited to have you joining me for today's episode, which is one of a few I have put together in a little mini series that I created in honor of the 1-year anniversary of the publication of my book, Superwomen Secrets Revealed. Successful women talk about fitting and fitness and dare you to join them. The book can be found anywhere books are sold, or if you would like a signed hardback copy, you can go to fitarmadillo.com/books. And if I have some in stock, I'm happy to sign and dedicate one to you. So go check that out if you'd like to learn more about that. The mini-series for the podcast is set up very similarly to the way I did my interviews for the book. So basically what you'll enjoy is fitness inspiration, motivation, figuring out the how and why of fitting and fitness, and getting inspired by my guests who are going to share their stories and also share a fitting and fitness dare with you, a fun, simple fitness challenge. So if you're having trouble getting started, I hope you will check out these fitness challenges and find inspiration in one of them so that you can get out there, get moving, and get some feedback, get some encouragement, at least from me, if you tag my fitness company, Fit Armadillo, on your favorite form of social media, so Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I will happily cheer you on when you go and accept your fitness challenge or fitness dare and share some progress on that. All right, let's get to today's guest. Today's guest is someone you might recognize if you have been following Fit Armadillo and checking out our blog. It's been a little while since I had her as a guest there, but she's here on the podcast today to share her inspiration, motivation, and fitness challenge with you and a little update on what's been going on. My guest today is Stéphanie de Geus. Stéphanie is a copywriter, storyteller, and blogger who's passionate about telling stories. She helps people rock at their jobs, taking care of the copywriting and editing so they can focus on growing their businesses. In her free time, Stéphanie runs, boulders, and reads books. She loves to travel a lot and see other cultures. Stéphanie, welcome to the podcast show. I'm excited to have you here.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be here.
So wanted to start off just by asking what a day in the life of Stéphanie looks like. What's your schedule like? How do you fit fitness into that schedule as well?
Well, I'm actually one of those crazy people that gets up at 6:30 regardless of the day, usually in the weekends as well, much to the disappointment of my boyfriend, who's always saying, please sleep in because you don't have to go to your day job. He has a point. But yeah, I like to get up early and then have a shower, have a glass of water, and then do some writing, just some warm-up writing, just to, free writing, just to warm everything up and to get going. And then it's breakfast time, and then I usually work on more writing assignments. If it's a run day, then around 11, breakfast has gone down far enough so I can go for a nice good run, which is usually about 40 minutes to an hour. And then it's time for well-deserved lunch. I'm a vegan, so it's mostly vegetables a lot, and I really do love my tempeh. In the afternoon, I usually have a bit of an energy dip. I'm not that productive and creative in the afternoon, so I try to leave emails and that kind of more boring stuff where you don't need creative inspiration to the afternoon. Usually I hit another creative spark around 4ish, which I will continue to do until it's time to cook some dinner. Then my boyfriend comes home, we have dinner, and then if it's a boulder evening, then I head off to the boulder gym in the evening, where I'm anywhere between an hour and 2 hours, depending on the mood and the flow really. And sometimes you have those days where it's like after an hour, you're like, nope, not working today.
I mean, definitely a challenging workout, right? So
yes, for sure. It's not just muscles that it's challenging on. It's also really challenging on the mind.
I bet. I mean, I actually have not tried it yet, so definitely I admire you from afar for now.
Yeah, I to be honest, I never thought I would do this, but and I called a coworker at my old day job. She convinced me to come along with her, and I got hooked pretty quickly, actually.
Some of that positive peer pressure, right? Now, when did you start doing that? Because I don't remember it being a part of your routine the last time we spoke.
Yeah, that's true. I've only started doing it since the first time I went was September 2017, so it's really recent, and I only started going more twice, maybe 3 times a week since I think November. So it's still recently very new.
That's awesome. That's exciting. So, you did have running before, though. Wondering if fitness has always been a part of your routine or if that's something that you had to work at to add to your daily schedule.
To be honest, I was one of those losers in high school that nobody wanted on their team because I sucked at sports.
I'm laughing because I was the same way. I've always been very uncoordinated, even though I'm a personal trainer. Luckily, in high school, I had running, though, so I wasn't trying to be on any teams that require coordination, but
Yeah, I was always the fat, chubby kid who couldn't run for even a minute. So no, it was never part of my routine. I started dabbling in running on and off, I think, in 2013.
mm,
And I only really started taking it more seriously when I started to train for my first triathlon in 2015.
hmm
I've done 3 of those so far, and running has always been on and off. And for the last year and a half, it's been more persistent. The bad thing though is that I did my first half marathon in May last year, which I'm extremely proud of. But
yeah.
my hamstrings didn't agree, and I got a really bad running injury, so I only started to get back to running in November
Yep.
of this last year.
Yep.
It was pretty nightmarish.
Definitely been there before with the running injury. But wondering, because I know for me, one of my injuries actually led me to find yoga. Was that positive in any way? Were you able to do anything besides running when you had your running injury?
I started bouldering when I was at the end of the running injury. I
Mm,
didn't do anything else much because when
yeah.
I first started, I couldn't even bend forward. It was that bad.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was really, they were really, really tight. So I went to physical therapy.
If you're walking with us and only have 15 minutes, that's your cue to turn around.
That helped a lot, but ouch.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's not a fun one to have.
No, no, I don't wish that upon anyone.
So that's awesome. So you ended up adding fitness a little bit later in life, and
Yeah.
do you find that it's impacted your life and your business at all, or anything you could share on that?
I think the mostly it affected my mind. Yeah, obviously, yes, it affected my body as well because I lost when I started running and triathlons. I lost a lot of weight.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I also find that when I go running or bouldering, it just helps me clear my head. With running, it's some kind of freedom, and
Right.
you just go out, you feel really good afterwards, even though if you're doing it and you think, oh my god, can you just be over? Then still at the end you feel really great. And if I look at bouldering, it's really different because you have to conquer a fear every time you go up the wall, and you have to solve a puzzle, and sometimes I have to really battle my mind there. And if you're on the wall and you're thinking of something else or worrying about your to-do list or your email or whatever, you drop. So you
Right.
have so it's whereas running, it's you can just ponder about anything while you're running and it doesn't matter. But bouldering, it's very mindful, and that just really helped me to relieve some stress as well.
I love that. Just different forms of fitness, challenging your mind and body in different ways. So now, Stephanie, do you always stick to your routine 100% of the time? And we'd love to have you share how you
Does any
feel. I do not think so. But that's why I asked this question, because I want people to realize that even those of us who do find a benefit from having fitness as a part of our daily routine as much as possible, sometimes don't get it in every day. So would love to hear your insights on what happens when that happens.
Well, I'm one of those lucky ones. I have a running coach. So
Oh, nice.
I do have some accountability, which helps, especially after the running injury. I just wanted someone to help me get back to where I was.
Yeah.
But there are days where I'm either too busy or that it's just tipping it down outside. The weather here has been especially bad the last 2 weeks. I mean, you just look outside and you just go, nope. And I do try to do something every day. So if I don't go running, I try to at least maybe go for a walk, or I do at least a plank. But if I miss a day, then honestly, then my legs are better rested next day. But I do notice that if I don't go outside or I don't go to bouldering, I miss it. And it just gives me more focus when I do it. So I try to do it as much as possible. But sometimes life happens and oh well.
Yeah. So sometimes people tell me, Stephanie, that they are just way too busy to get started with the routine. What might you tell someone who had that as a concern? They just don't have time.
Start small. I mean, sometimes I look at my schedule and there's an hour of running on there and I'm like, no, an hour. I could do so much in an hour. And to be honest, sometimes just even going for outside for 15 minutes and doing something, going for a walk or going for a short run, that gives you the same benefits already. So it doesn't have to be an hour, because the downside of running an hour is that you're exhausted the hour after. So there's that.
All right. So for something fun, I know you did one of these before because I had you on my little blog series when I initially started this whole journey of what ended up becoming the book. But I don't know if you have a fitting in fitness dare for the listeners. It could be your old one, or if you want to share something new, just something actionable. So especially for those listening who think they're too busy or they're not feeling really inspired themselves, maybe you can dare them to try something that might get them to take action.
Something that always helps for me is to try something new. And with bouldering, it's really easy. Just try a new route when you're there. But it can also be something like try doing 10 minutes of yoga, or try doing 10 jumping jacks or 10 push-ups. Just try something that sounds like fun you haven't done before, and then see if you like it. And if you don't, then try something new next day.
Love that. Definitely good advice. So everyone's been dared. They have to try to take this challenge on.
I'll be doing it tomorrow. I'm trying a new route tomorrow when I go bouldering.
Very good. So they have routes for you in the. I obviously don't know much at all. I need to brush up. Maybe I'm gonna have to try it myself. But there actually are routes that you'll take versus you're not just randomly climbing, I guess.
Yeah, there are colored routes, and they start with easy ones, and then the different colors represent a difficulty. And
okay.
I'm at the second one from easy, so I'm still very new.
Yeah.
But it's hard and it's fun, and the good thing is because they change the routes, and there are I think about 10 different levels. There's always something new to try, so you never run out of options.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Well, yeah, it's just been a few months, right? So
yeah, I still got loads to do, and they change it every week. They change the wall every week. So
okay, that's really cool. I didn't know that. Very cool. So, Stephanie, wondering if you have a quote or a mantra that you live by for some inspiration that might not be fitness related.
I don't really have a quote that pops to mind, but I do. One thing I do always do is just to try and keep going. Especially during my runs when I feel like I'm going to topple over, which we've all been there.
Yeah.
Just keep going, because at the end, when you come home, you always have still energy left. So you can probably go that little bit farther.
Love that. And just to wrap up, any other added inspiration or thoughts to share with us before I get all your links from you so people can follow you as well?
I do really like books, and I read a book the other day which was absolutely brilliant. It was The Pen's Perspective from Anna McNuff, and she ran the entire length of New Zealand.
Wow!
The entire trail there, she ran it, and it was so inspiring to read, and it just makes you want to go out. This is an extra little tip: if you want to get inspired, just read some of those books. It just makes you want to head out right away.
No, I never heard of that book, but I definitely am going to have to check it out for myself. So I'm glad because I noticed, in your bio you were saying you like to read books, so you did pique my interest. I always have, ones I'm looking for new ones to check out, so that's awesome.
Yeah, I definitely check that one out.
Awesome. Well, Stephanie, it's been really fun catching up and having you on the podcast to share some inspiration. Love your dare. We'll have to try something new. And would love to have you share where people can find you. I mean, I'll put this in the show notes, but this way can get it in their minds a little bit as well.
Yeah, sure. You can find my website about the services that I offer businesses at thestorysparks.com. And I am launching a new blog about traveling and travel writing on lifesparks.me.
Oh, very cool. That's exciting.
Yeah.
And can we find you on social media? Are you doing that anymore?
Yeah, I'm still on social media. My Twitter link is SD Geus, which I'll link down there because it's a Dutch spelling. Sorry about that, guys. And I'm on Instagram as well at /storysparks and /lifesparks.me.
Very cool. We'll have to. Yeah, I know I followed you originally, but the way all those algorithms go, I don't think I've seen you in a while, so I'll have to go poke around myself.
Yeah, the algorithms change. That's a real shame.
Yeah, I know. It's tough.
It is.
Well, thank you, Stephanie. It's been really fun chatting with you, and looking forward to keep following you and hopefully getting people out there trying new things, and appreciate you being on the show.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. It's been fun for a second time. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks, Stephanie.
Thanks.
Thanks for listening to the Fit 15. For show notes and more, visit fitarmadillo.com/podcast. See you next time.
Hi friends, it's Catherine, and I'm actually broadcasting from Hartford, Connecticut today because tomorrow I'm going to be the March speaker for the Hartford Happiness Club. So if you or a friend are in Hartford, Connecticut, or can get there by 7 p.m. tomorrow, Thursday, March 1st, I would love to meet you, chat with you, and maybe even get you a copy of my book. So check out the information at fitarmadillo.com/books. Tell a friend, post about it on your social media to help me spread the word beyond even your immediate friends. I really appreciate it. And whether you're able to make it or not, make sure you do subscribe to the podcast so that you can at least get tomorrow's episode of the Fit 15. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope to chat with you and even better, see you tomorrow evening. Bye.